Inside, the coldness grew roots. I began collecting. Phone backups, bank records, quiet evidence no one sees coming. Every evening I downloaded her messages to an encrypted drive. Every morning I searched his financials through an old access code he'd once trusted me with. Patterns emerged. Transfers, secret trips, a shared account under a false name. One message stood out. Hers to him. He suspects nothing. Once the inheritance is cleared, it's over. I stared at those words until I couldn't no longer tell if the shaking in my hands was anger or clarity. The call came 2 weeks later. My son was gone. His heart had stopped in the early hours. The monitors had fallen silent, like him, like me. At the funeral, my wife wept until her voice broke. My father stood behind her, a steady hand on her back. To everyone else, it looked like compassion. To me, it looked like possession. I didn't cry, not because I didn't feel, because I finally understood. They had taken everything, my trust, my bloodline, my name, and carved their happiness from it. But they made one mistake. They believed I still wanted to be part of their story. I waited 3 days before inviting them both over. Dinner table, candles, calm. My wife sat across from me, eyes red, pretending to be fragile. My father beside her, dignified as always, mask polished and perfect. I slid a folder across the table. "Before we discuss the estate," I said, "you should see this." She frowned. "What is it?" "Something he left behind." I watched her hesitate before opening it. Photos, messages, transfers, the DNA report, the storage unit receipt. Every truth laid bare like an autopsy. Her breath fractured. His jaw clenched. No one spoke. Finally, my father exhaled, voice barely above a whisper. "You went there." "I did." "Then you know." "Yes." I leaned back, calm, detached. I wanted to see their masks dissolve, molecule by molecule. My wife tried to speak, but her throat caught. "It wasn't necessary," I finished for her. "No, it rarely is." The silence that followed was surgical. No shouting, no dramatics. Just the sound of two people realizing the ground beneath them was gone. I stood, walked to the window. The city lights stretched out like veins in the dark. "You planned everything," I said quietly. "The child, the money, the accident." She flinched. He didn't move. His silence was confession enough. I turned back to them. "Keep the inheritance, both of you. I'm done." Her lips trembled. "You can't just—" "I can, and I did, because revenge doesn't always need a weapon. Sometimes it only needs absence." They had lived off my trust, my presence, my belief that we were a family. I cut those veins cleanly. Let them bleed into their own silence. As I reached the door, my father spoke. "Where will you go?" "Somewhere quiet," I said. "Somewhere my name doesn't matter." She stood, tears streaking her face. "Please, don't do this." I looked at her once. The woman I thought I loved. The woman who destroyed everything. Her eyes searched mine for anger, for love, for something to hold on to. I gave her nothing, because nothing was all I had left to give. Outside, the night swallowed me whole. Rain slicked the pavement. My reflection stared back from a puddle, unfamiliar, hollow, free. I walked without destination, without purpose. Behind me, the house glowed warm with the light of everything false. Inside it, two people would spend the rest of their lives choking on the truth they built, and I would never return. Because sometimes vengeance isn't about making them suffer. It's about leaving them behind to live with themselves. And they will. Every day, every breath, every lie, until silence becomes their punishment. I didn't bury my son that day. I buried them both, and walked away before the dirt settled.